So today I want to talk about the fingerprint sensor on the Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro and how you can improve the accuracy, the speed, the reliability, all that good stuff. And I don't know why it just dawned on me to make this video even after it's been quite a while since there have been a lot of patches and fixes. It's definitely a lot better than it used to be. I understand some people still may be having problems, but across the board, I think we could all agree that the fingerprint sensor could be better. And it's actually very curious to me. I was reading an article the other day because there's been so many problems, so much contention, so much frustration with the fingerprint sensor in the 6 and the 6 Pro. I thought that maybe it was Pixel's, like Google's own fingerprint sensor, like it was their own sensor they were using, and apparently it's the same one that OnePlus uses in basically all of their phones, which theirs is praised as being just about the best optical fingerprint sensor in the business. So I don't know how you can take something that's so good elsewhere and gets recognition for being quick, fast, and reliable, and then you put it on a Google phone, and then it's pants, like it's terrible. And there's some thought process behind that. I'll talk about it. It'll be blended in this video. So if you want insight on how kind of the things work and why there might be issues with it, stay tuned and watch this whole video. But yes, the first thing I want to talk about on how you can improve the reliability, performance, and speed, accuracy of your fingerprint sensor on your Pixel 6 and 6 Pro is to add additional fingerprints. Not of just your different fingers, but of the same finger. And this has been kind of a tip or trick that's been floating around the phone business for a while, ever since we got fingerprint sensors. If you re-register your same finger multiple times, you have a better chance of getting a more accurate and reliable read. Because whenever you test it, like you press on a little sensor, it says pick it up, push it down, pick it up, push it down, all that great stuff, but it only encompasses so much of your finger. So if you register it once and then the second time you register it, don't register it the same way. Register it a couple of different ways and try and pick up more tread wear on your thumb or your index finger or whatever finger you want to use, so that way it gives the phone more data to bounce off of whenever you're trying to scan your finger. And you can do this quite easily. So you go into your settings. So once you're in your settings, let me unlock mine. Once you're in your settings, you go to security, and in security, you just click on fingerprint unlock. So you click on fingerprint unlock. It'll ask you to put in your PIN, which I'm not going to show on the screen. But once you do that, you can see here. So all you have to do is click on add fingerprint. Click on add fingerprint, go through the process all over again. Do it 2 or 3 times if you want. You can do it, probably as many times as you want. I've never done it more than like 2, but I have found it's helpful because this phone is not the first phone in the world that's ever had problems with a reliable fingerprint sensor. So that is a great way. Add that on there, and heck, add some other fingers. Add your other digits on there. If you're sitting around eating Oreos one day, eating a greasy McRib from McDonald's when it comes in and it's seasonal, even eating a Mexican pizza at Taco Bell, because as we do here on TechOdyssey, maybe you ought to use a different finger on a different hand or a different one than normal just as a backup. So that's one way. You can add more fingerprints of the same finger, or heck, add different fingers. Maybe you'll have better luck. So that's the first thing. The second thing you want to do, just in case this is a remote thing, if your software is not up to date, download the latest software update for your Google Pixel 6 or 6 Pro. There have been substantial improvements to the software and the fingerprint sensor since the phone has come out. It's not just fix the fingerprint sensor. And honestly, that's probably the baseline place where you should start. Check, see if you have a system update, make sure it's up to date. We're up to, right now, May is the latest security patch that we have on there. So some people have told me before, they're like, oh, I'm still on February, I'm still on March, I'm still on January. My carrier hasn't given me the latest one. If your carrier hasn't given you the latest update, you can download them and sideload them directly onto your phone from Google. Yes, you can actually download the latest versions for your phone. That's something that you can do. So and that's a whole other topic. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but you can sideload them, which you can download them and set them up pretty easily. Not a whole big process, but yes, I think generally it's probably best to get the carrier update in most situations. But if you're having problems, substantial problems if your network connectivity, because back in January, February, March, we had a lot of problems with cell signal and connectivity. We also had problems with data. We had problems with Bluetooth. We had problems. There's been a lot of stuff that's been fixed over the way. So yes, if you don't have the most recent or relevant update on the software, go ahead and check wirelessly to see if it's available. And if it's not, you could also consider going the other route and downloading the official update from Google And there's actually here, I'll post it right here. You can watch this video I made on how to sideload the software onto the phone. And that might be helpful too, because you may not always have the latest software update. So backpedal a little bit, yes. Of course, go with the carrier update first, see if that's available. But if you're feeling brave, you're feeling froggy and spry, and you want to change, you can download and sideload the latest update. And that's something that's also an option. So that's kind of there. But of course, always check and see if you have it available first. Third, this is kind of fringe, and I had never heard of this before. I was reading actually a 9 to 5 Google article because I had seen stuff lately. There was a leaked unboxing video about the Pixel 6a, and some people saying that the fingerprint sensor might be better. Maybe it might be. It's actually a different fingerprint sensor, and it's curious to me that they have chosen a different fingerprint sensor for the Pixel 6a, and my thought process behind that is, I don't think that it's necessarily because the one they're using isn't working. It's probably an availability thing. There may not be enough. Of course, there's still supply shortage issues or supply chain issues. Maybe this is what was available, and they probably just grabbed that. But also, it may just be a departure, and they want to give people a sense of security that it's working better. Even if you use the same sensor in the 6 and the 6a with as updated as they are now, there's still a stigma attached to it. So if they come out of the gate and the 6A one is working, they can say, we made a change and got a different sensor, even though the sensor may not be the problem in the first place. Because the reason I think it's not working properly is because of Google and all their extra security algorithm stuff they're trying to do to make an optical fingerprint sensor more secure. Because innately, it's not very secure. It can't differentiate between your fingerprint and a clone of your fingerprint. So it's not like the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor on the Samsung Galaxy S22, S22 Ultra, all those great guys. Those actually scan like the grooves and the ridges of your finger. It's more biometrical data as opposed to just scanning an image of a fingerprint. So the thing that you can do here that might possibly work, and this is based on the theory that fingerprint sensors, some of them actually do behave this way. Every time they get a successful scan, they take all of the scan data and to improve scanning ability. So if you do a fingerprint and that's the first time it reads, well, if there's some extra data in there on your finger and they determine it's accurate, it may take the whole image that it gets and not just the part and register that it's okay. So the theory behind this, and this was posited by 9 to 5 Google, I believe, and thankful for people that know this stuff. I don't know everything for sure, but when it comes to doing this, they recommend sitting there for 10 minutes straight and just keep doing your fingerprint sensor. So fingerprint sensor, adjust the pressure, adjust the location, adjust where, different places on there where you do it. And if you notice some areas are problematic, keep hitting that area over and over and over again until it seems like it might get more reliable. Now, I know there have been some changes. I know there's been some stuff that Google has done to optimize this and make it better, but this could take it to the next level. And I also have another theory, because I've heard if you go on this one, if it's building good data, maybe it could also be building bad data, because I've had experience with mine where it seems like when you get a fresh fingerprint set up or a fresh system update, it works better, and then it starts to slow down and get worse over time as you're using it. So I wonder if as much as it's capturing good data, it could also be capturing bad data. So that's just a theory of mine, but the theory from 9 to 5 Google is maybe it's fairly sound, because this is something that other fingerprint sensor manufacturers have been known to do when it comes to implementation in phones, where it takes the good with the good. If you can let one person who's authorized and that person says person 2 is authorized, it kind of expedites things and it helps bring the other person in. So my thought process, or theirs here, is if you get a good scan, hey, just keep doing a bunch of scans and it'll build up your data, and that should help out with the accuracy because it has more data to go off of. More scans, more data. More data is what you want when it comes to a fingerprint sensor. So that could help too. So first thing, add additional fingerprints or the same multiple scans of the same fingerprint. Make sure your software is up to date. Sideload it if you want to. And that's a further discussion we can have elsewhere. That could be good. It could be something you don't want to mess with. But if you're running like a January update, it wouldn't be bad to have the May update, and we're quickly approaching the June update here just right around the corner. So that could be an option. Again, check out the side loading video that I made, and you can try and do that if you want. That's also a possibility. And then third, sit there for 10 minutes. Hey, even if you do it 5 minutes, do it a couple of minutes here. And if you're sitting bored one day, do it for a couple of minutes there and see if that actually improves things for you. Now, again, I know that Google has made it better, arguably. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of problems with mine. Mine actually works pretty good. Haven't had a whole lot of problems. It's gotten a lot better than it used to be, and I'm very, very grateful and thankful for that because it was terrible. It was so terrible. So I don't even know if this is big of a problem anymore. I wish I had the idea to make this video a long time ago. I try to make helpful videos, and sometimes I do make a lot of videos. I really do, and I understand that. Hopefully they add value. I believe that they do. But yeah, something like this, I wish I would have thought about it before. And I know I discussed it in other videos before. I know I've told people before, make extra fingerprints of the same finger. That might make things better. Of course, the obvious, check for updates. But those are the 3 things I think could be helpful if you're still having problems. And maybe it will be helpful for you. And if it does, please come back, sound off in the comment section. I'd love to know that I helped out on that one and gave some good insight on that. But hopefully nobody's having this problem by and large anymore. But who knows? With the 6A right around the corner, we could run into issues again. You never know. So keep that one in the ready. Keep in the back of your mind. And also for other phones in the future if you have problems. These can always be helpful. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you found this helpful, if you like these types of videos, then please hit the like and the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. If you want to make sure you get the notification, make sure all notifications are turned on so that way you get the notifications whenever I put videos out, because you never know. Sometimes Google, they decide, okay, this person, even though they watch the video every single time, we're not going to send out notifications. And I run into that problem. I've had questions from people who are reliable watchers who say, I haven't had a video notification from you in a week. And I've since put out 7 videos since then. So you just never know what Google is doing to manipulate your data and the audience that it goes out to. Who knows? Google, right? So that's all I've got. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. When I recorded this and published it, it is Monday. So have a great Monday. I hope it works out well for you. Get coffee if you need it. Have a wonderful week. And I'll see you guys next time.